About 5 years back or 10 years back, I got a call from our income tax officer, and he told me that, sir, I see that you have 2 cars. So I said, what's your problem? No, how can you have 2 cars? 1 car is enough to go to office. I said, no, I am thinking of buying 7 cars, one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What is your problem? I will claim the depreciation also. In of course, service tax and all, they don't give us car credit at all. Correct? Excise duty on cars we don't get. Fuel anyway they have kept out. So there is a little of issue on these cars. Nowadays our children start car, the moment they are 18 they take driving license, after that you have to ask them, request for your car to be given back. My son has joined our office, he is still not finished CA, he drives me to the office, and then if I have to go early, say I am coming to Delhi, 7 o'clock flight, I have to go back, so he says, you take an auto. This is the state of affairs. And you are saying it is not essential? Cars are certainly essential. What about electricity? All of us use it in office and in businesses. Why there is no tax on that? Government doesn't want to give because there is huge credit. There is a whole cost of infrastructure and all. So they have kept it out, and I don't think that's a good thing. They all should come in. Input tax credit, I am not going to talk much because we have a fantastic speaker. Incidentally, Raghuraman, who is going to speak to you and me, we wrote our first book, both of our first published book, we wrote in 1997 on MODVAT. Then the book became Central Excise Law and Procedures after a couple of years. Let's look at impact of GST in general. Lower transaction cost, mainly due to corruption. Corruption is huge in India. I think I don't have to tell you. It's ridiculous to tell you actually. You can tell me. I don't pay a single paisa bribe. Office never paid bribe in its 28 years. And we are very successful, growing at 40%. Increased tax revenue, I already talked about. Adoption of IT resource is going to become very critical for each of us. We as advisors, we have to learn many softwares. Maybe one of the things branch can look at is that you look at ERP, different types of ERP. At least a touch and feel, because the ERP classes are terribly expensive. Even we can't afford, I think. Unless you are going to go to US and earn some money, then it's okay. I think branch has to do this. One of the other things you can do is, through the IT committee of the ICA also, you can ask them to, get some modules or something which we can get at some negotiated prices, and see that it is only a demonstration purpose across India. It is very useful, I think. And for us, we have to learn. We have had a session on ERP in office, couple of sessions, very expensive to have it for 25 of our employees and all. And I was not even able to attend. And of course, if I attended also, I might not have understood much. Tax neutrality will be there. What is tax neutrality? I should be able to do business in the place where it's most efficient. Not where the taxes are lower, they are attracting me with some sops of refunds, etc. And there is certainly going to be more transparency and accountability on the taxpayer, but none on the department is what I think. Let's look at impact on service sector. Your rate, I am assuming 18%, it could be 20. Number of SSCs are about 20 lakh plus now, and present contribution about 250,000 crores. This is the fastest growing tax. Though I gave you some statistics of this year, the fastest growing is excise duty, which is in this quarter. I don't think over the year it will sustain, but it may, if it sustains, good for the country. And what can happen to this sector? You are going to increase the tax. Many abatements are going to disappear. Many exemptions are going to disappear. Rate itself will increase from 15 to 18. So there is going to be a lot of problem, because this is additional. As it is, people are not paying. Some problems will be there if the last stage customer is not availing credit. If he is availing credit, we don't have a problem. If our customer gets into GST, then we have no problem about service tax or that time GST. One of the things we may have to look for our clients is all ongoing contracts which are going to spill over to the GST regime. We may have to see that they are renegotiated now. After that date, it's very difficult, because what will happen is you will raise the bill and then they will deny you the entire bill. Because of the GST being there, the entire bill will be held up. They say, नहीं नहीं वो GST का problem solve नहीं हुआ ना, बाद में करेंगे. So as it is, you have a problem with collection. Now this is going to become one more good reason to hold back your payment by the customers. So therefore, I think you and me, at least for our retainer clients, big clients, we should see that we vet all their major agreements and see that they can either write in advance and get it ratified that the differential between GST and the present rate will be paid, etc. Remember, many people who are very tax efficient are going to find GST to be not very challenging. They may not find. But you will also have some issues which you will hear today. My thought process is that we should be able to convince the government to see that all taxes paid at the earlier point of time, whether they were eligible or not to that service provider or supplier, should be available to him. Today they are saying whatever taxes you were supposed to pay and whatever eligibility of credit you had, only that can be carried forward, which is not fair. Because in GST I am paying the whole full rate, so I should be allowed the full credit. Anyway, that's an issue which we will have to take with the department. And therefore, I think that if that law is amended, then you and me have a very big role. We have to ensure that at the end of the year, when 31st March comes, our clients should have taken maximum credit possibilities, whether it is in goods or services, whether it's excise duty or whether it's service tax. You can't say only VAT I will take care of. Nobody is bothered about VAT after, once GST is going to come. Then all these three credits are going to become important and we should see that we are able to take it. The fact that many exemptions are going to go and many of the transactions with the government are exempted, maybe all the government contracts have to be revisited and immediately. It takes a long time for government to move. If they are not agreeing, write to finance minister, write to prime minister, tell them, give a caveat to the government departments that the differential tax between GST